Welcome, bienvenidos, bienvenue. Welcome to our Twitter Spaces from We Are Más called Your Voice is Your Community, Tu Voz es Tu Comunidad. Now I will start with English. I first want to say that this program is not funded by anyone. It is funded by our time and the time of the leaders who are sitting with you today to share how they see what is happening in our communities. Our guest is Tamoa Calzadilla. Tamoa Calzadilla is the managing editor of Factchequeando. She is responsible for the production of original content of factchequeado.com, an initiative to combat misinformation affecting Latino communities in the United States. For that work, she was included in the first list of Forbes Español among the 100 most creative in the business world in 2022. She was also interviewed on CNN en Español by journalist Donnie O'Sullivan, who covers disinformation in the US. She's also been interviewed by the New York Times, by the Miami Herald as an expert voice in the fight against disinformation affecting Spanish speakers. Tamoa led El Detector, Univision News fact-checking platform, first created in Spanish in the US, with live fact-checking coverage for digital and TV, and partnerships with other media organizations and universities to combat misinformation that mainly affects Latino communities. And this is impressive. Tamoa Calzadilla was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize for Collaborative Work, Fins Sin Files 2021, on corrupt Venezuelans and international banking, led by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, ICIJ. She was also part of the research team of the Panama Papers, ICIG 2016. In 2014, she received the special mention of the Maria Moores Cabot Award from Columbia University, New York, and the Gabriel Garcia Marquez Award, among other recognitions. Welcome, bienvenida, Tamoa.
Gracias, Evelyn. Thank you. Thank you, Evelyn, and thanks everyone for being here. It's my pleasure, and today is International Women's Day, and it's a special occasion to speak about our work, about work together, because it's important for women to work together, right? Thank you, Evelyn.
Absolutely. And I think that, like you said, happy International Women's Day. Happy day to you, because honestly, women helping each other is how we move forward. And you
Yeah.
have been a wonderful, wonderful friend that has been always pushing me and recommending me like I have recommended you. And I think
Yes.
that that's something beautiful, that if we learn to do this and to be more like this is how we all become informed. And that's our purpose. I know that's your purpose. I know that's my purpose. And for me, it's like, the fact that I'm Colombian American, I'm born in Colombia, you're from Venezuela, sister
Exactly.
countries, right?
Yeah.
For us, that for me, it's, we're like sisters. We help each other, we support each other. That's how it should be always. But
Support
I
each
want the
other.
guests to.
Yeah.
Mhm. Go ahead.
Yeah. It's important to say that support each other is a very important phrase today. We are working in different outlets, in different organizations, but always we are uh, push push our work. Is fantastic because it's a good message, especially today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I will not do you justice introducing you. I did a little bit.
No,
But
it's
I
okay.
want people to know, who is Tamoa Calzadilla? Who is she as a woman, as an immigrant from Venezuela? Um, and let's start there, first of all.
Yes, I was born in Caracas, Venezuela. Um, many years ago, in 1971. My parents lived there. My only sister moved to Santiago de Chile with her family. And I came to the United States in October 2015 with my family, my husband, and my 2 children. I'm officially an immigrant. After 8 years, I have learned a lot. I have worked in journalism since I arrived to this country. I was an investigative journalist in Venezuela, and when I arrived to Miami, Florida, in October 2015, I started to work with Univision Noticias, the big network in Spanish. And it was fantastic, a lot of things that you can learn about the Latino audience, you know. You became an immigrant and one of many people in your condition, but you have the sort of work in your career and development ideas and do collaborative work, collaborative project with investigations. And here I felt that I could help to the audience in Venezuela too, because my country is under dictatorship. And my husband is a photojournalist. Yes. He's a journalist too, and we decided to leave my country. It's a difficult decision, but we had to leave Venezuela. And right now, we are immigrants, and we understand other things that you could understand if you are not in this position, but it's good. And I have learned a lot about the audience, the Latino communities. The first of all is that it's not a Latino community, because it's a non-monolithic group, no? And you understand that we are a lot of group of people from different countries with similarities, but a lot of difference. And I know I joined to the fact-checking work in Univision, and I led El Detector during the campaign, a difficult time because
Yes.
It was the campaign for the post-election election in 2020. A lot of misinformation and disinformation were in social media, and I think that we were not prepared enough for that, no?
Yes. Are we talking 2020 here with that?
I'm sorry?
Are we talking about 2020 or before?
2020,
Yes.
And before, yes, during the campaign with a lot of disinformation and many initiatives to combat disinformation in English, but not in Spanish.
Not in Spanish. Not in Spanish. And you were part of the group of us that were sounding the alarms of saying, look, we're seeing this. This is not, we need to give it the attention it deserves, being that the second most spoken language in the United States is Spanish. So yes, you're absolutely right about that.
We started with the first initiative of the first fact-checking platform in Spanish language in the US in 2015.
Oh my gosh. Wow. And you were also, I think that this is going to work now, Tamoa. I want to place this on so that everyone can hear this. Hold on one second. With Republicans who have now been radicalized.
For some Latinos here in South Florida, election lies have ruptured friendships and split families.
It's dividing our families, but it's also creating a lot of distrust in Spanish-speaking voters.
The same kind of election lies and even QAnon conspiracy theories that circulate in English also go viral among the Spanish-speaking community.
You can see disinformation in English, and in 2 or 3 days, you can see this disinformation with
That's Tamoa.
In Spanish.
Tamoa Calzadilla, a journalist who had to flee Venezuela, is now a Spanish-language fact-checker and says some of the disinformation is targeted at immigrants from specific countries. So this narrative that the Biden administration is a socialist, communist regime.
It's sensitive for people that came from Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua. It's scary. If what your friends. And I think this is the piece from CNN Politics with Daniel Sullivan. If you haven't seen it, take a look at it, because there are various people there, like Maria Corina Vegas, Juan Carlos Planas, who's a Cuban American election attorney who used to be a Republican legislator, and now he's continues. He became a Democrat, but I think and I would say more people that are anti mis and disinformation. But I find it really interesting to see this piece, Tamoa, because that's exactly one of the things that I'm thinking about when first of all, I spent the day looking at your history and your investigative journalism in Venezuela. Okay. And my goodness, thank you, right? Because you've been a fighter for democracy for a long time as a journalist, and and when you see authoritarian tendencies, you living the experience. But at the end of the day, as a journalist, your work is to give the facts to the community, right? And my question is the following. What I've seen is that, when there are elections, like right now, that it's kind of a little slow for now here in the United States. And the fact that you have the knowledge of understanding how people in Latin America have gone through this, because this has been happening a long time. I don't know in Venezuela, but in Colombia for decades, where there's mis and disinformation of this level. And I'm sure you can speak on Venezuela. But, in addition to that, I think that people need to understand, I don't think that this information is going away anytime soon. And my question is this going to get better or get worse as we go toward 2024?
It's difficult to say that, but I think, Evelyn, that in 2020 we are not prepared. We were not prepared for that, for those lies, for those kind of disinformation in TV shows, in radio station, etc. I think that in the past election, in the midterm election, we could see some experiences that showed a little bit better landscape. For example, when this disinformation about Maricopa in Arizona, and the electoral machines, that something happens, something wrong is happening, etc. We could see, for example, authorities in Twitter from Maricopa County countering this information. And it is really different with 2020, when the authorities, the journalists, the people were not prepared to combat this information. We didn't understand what's going on with
Yes.
that. And I think that those experiences, it's important to say that we can learn about that. And I think that for 2024, for example, in factcheckado.com, we are building a huge alliance. And right now we have 40 allies.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I think that is a ways to prepare and to protect us for 2024 election, because we have allied 35 of those allies allies are media outlets, both small and large, as Univision, for example. Small
Wow.
at the border, the Midwest, Connect Arizona, Enlace Latino, North Carolina, etc. Two media outlets in Puerto Rico, and they can publish our articles, our videos, everything totally free of charges.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Yes. The idea is amplify our voice, but at the same time, we can listen, we can understand what's going on over there in at the border, at the Midwest, because every single Thursday, for example, we have a meeting, the cafecito, at 2 p.m. And
Nice.
yes, we have a very good conversation about, okay, we are receiving that kind of disinformation, what kind of questions through our WhatsApp or in conversation with the communities. And it's fantastic because I live in Miami, but the other checker is in Georgia, other people is in Nevada, but it's difficult have the landscape of the 50 states and Puerto Rico.
Yes.
And with our allies, we can listen and understand what's going on with communities, Latino communities in I don't remember right now. We have, for example, a station from NPR in New Hampshire, for example.
Oh, wow. That's
Yes.
great. And I think it's really important to say something that, you know, you know, in the United States, we have different political ideologies. We have Democrats, we have Republicans, we have no party affiliation, or some call themselves independents. And at the end of the day, what we want to make sure is that our community receive facts, and that the communities and the voters, individuals who live in this country, no matter what the political affiliation they have, receive accurate information.
Absolutely.
Because when we do not give accurate information, when we do not, when we start seeing, actors, be they domestic or foreign, and sometimes, sadly enough, with the reports that we're seeing, working together sometimes, um, um, to manipulate communities, it's really, really, but it's sad because what they don't realize, these actors, what they don't realize is that it may be working for now for them, but at the end of the day, doing this to our communities will blow up on everybody's face, because what you're creating is people who don't trust anyone. What you're creating is apathy to become involved in elections. And I think it's really important to say that there needs to be accountability in giving facts like that. That is ethical journalism. And so I commend the work, because and there's something that I find really interesting, Tamoa, of seeing. I think it was in December around there that I sent you this this WhatsApp message that I received in a group of women, of friends in Weston. That there's like over 200 women in Weston that were sharing this tweet that I sent to you, that said, Miami-Dade County Sheriff's Department warning, with the logo of Miami-Dade County Sheriff.
Yes.
And it said the following, and I want you to share with the community this is about. We're going to place this article in We Are Más, in the Twitter of We Are Más.
Thank you. This
Article,
is the kind.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing this, because this is a kind of disinformation that we are receiving every time in our WhatsApp. By the way, we have a WhatsApp tip line, and you can send to us to our number any video or text or audio that and you think that is suspicious, like this image. I can say the number.
Okay, please.
is 646-873-6087. And in this chat, in this big chat of WhatsApp, we receive a lot of images, a lot of fraudulent intent or phishing, you know. And this image we received for WhatsApp. I received this image 4 times, for example. The image with the logo of the Miami-Dade Police Department that say, okay, be aware about the new way of rapists of the gang of MS-13. The Mara Salvatrucha have a new ways to rape your daughters and women. Be aware, blah blah. And we investigate, and we found that it was a manipulated image with the logo. The same logo is perfect. The manipulation
it's awful.
the
Like
edition. Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Manipulated? How would you call that when they manipulate or they take an organization that is highly recognized, like the Miami-Dade Police?
Imposter content. Imposter
Content. Content. And what I was reading here is that this came out several times since, like, this has been circulated since 2005, is what I was reading here. It's
exactly.
So we have to be very careful in what we share. We have to be careful of where it's coming from. But this,
yes, we can. You can see the same image, but because the logo is the same, it's exactly, and you can be aware. You can looking for the timeline or the Miami Dade Police Department have a Twitter account, for example, and you can check. You can check at the website, or you can call if you are a journalist, and you can find the same. Is a manipulated image. But this image was in many chat groups.
And well, this is amazing. I think that once again, factchequeado.com. We will place all the information on We Are Más. But, this is great work. I love it because it says, no, the police of Miami-Dade County did not share this message averting about violations of women. This is a false chain that continues to be circulated. Super powerful. I'd like to know something about what is the most, what have you seen in terms of the last week in terms of disinformation toward our communities?
Last weekend we could see the deepfakes. These commentators or hosts or false journalists that was avatars that was used by regimes as China and Venezuela to in the propaganda,
Oh yeah. There were avatars used to say that it was an English media group, but they were actually avatars that were being used by China and Venezuela. Yes, right.
Exactly.
And that's on too right now?
I'm sorry?
Is that on Fact Chequeado if people want to take a look at that?
Yes, absolutely. We have pieces about what is a manipulated video, what is a deepfake, what is the difference, how the artificial intelligence can do that, what's going on with these avatars, on those avatars, and we could see other video with the President Biden. Manipulated video saying something about the ovnis, about the UFOs, UFOs. And it's the same technique that you take a video, a real video, and you can put different audio, or you can use artificial intelligence to recreate the voice, the same voice is really it's almost perfect. Yeah.
Well, Tamoa, I have to say to you that, I am really proud of everything and your trajectory as a woman on this International Day of Women. I think that, the balancing between, you, your mother, your wife, you are, so many things, and balancing all of this, and caring about what our communities listen to, because it's not just about just a job. I think for you, I think this is something in terms, it's personal for you. It's something that you've been working as an investigative journalist since Venezuela. I just want to see, what do you have to say to women, to journalists who have arrived here and who are immigrants on the International Day of Women?
Well, I would like to say that today this is a day to remember the struggle of many women to have equal rights, to improve their life, their careers, to improve their working conditions, and therefore to improve the society, right? The immigrants have a main role in these and with families. I like to say too that there is still a lot to do, but also I feel good because we are journalists and immigrants and women have the possibility to do our work, development careers, and I enjoy being a woman to contribute and to remember that we should get equal pay.
There we go. Yes. Yes, hallelujah. Yes, I agree. I agree. I think every woman agrees with that.
Yes, yes.
Yes, but no, I thank you, Tamoa. I think that this has been amazing. We are going to have, I believe, this conversation at We Are Más. We have We Are Más YouTube. As we said before, this is not funded by anyone. It's funded by our time and the time of, individuals like Tamoa who are sitting with you today, sharing what's happening in our communities. So we want to thank Tamoa for her time, because
No, thank
your
you.
time is valuable. Your
We
time
are
is valuable.
passionate. We are passionate about we are doing, and we are
Exactly. But thank you so much,
we are
Tamoa.
good.